Video, we're going to look at how to find the surface areas of prisms and pyramids. For the first shape, we've got ourselves a prism, and I can tell it's a prism because there are two identical shapes in the front and the back. If I were to move this triangle to the front, it matches identically with this one here without rotating it or anything like that. That's a clue that this is a prism. Now, this triangle that I'm looking at is in fact called the base. When you've got two identical figures that are right across from each other like that, it's called a base. And I can transfer all of the information from one triangle. So in this first one that I'm looking at, got that right angle down at the bottom there, got the 5 feet as the hypotenuse. But since it's identical to this one over here, I can also transfer the 3 and 4 feet. So 3 and 4. So now that I've got all the information from this base of mine, I can find the area of the base. That's what capital B represents. The area of a triangle is multiplying the base and height of both sides and dividing by 2. So lowercase b times h over 2. So I can multiply the 3 times 4 and divide it by 2 to get 6. So my capital B is 6. So that's that one down there. The P represents the perimeter of the base. So I take the perimeter of the base, which is adding the 3 plus 4 plus 5, and that's going to give me 12. So again, I've got my perimeter of the base. That's little p. Capital H is the distance between the bases. So when I'm moving this triangle from the front to the back and the back to the front, it's moving along this line right here, here, and here. And that line is represented by 7 feet. So that 7 feet is in fact the capital H. So now that we've got all three values, we can substitute these into the formula. So the surface area of this prism, it's a triangular prism, and it's triangular based on the shape of the base that we had, is going to be 2 times the area of the base, which is 6, plus the perimeter, which is 12, times capital H, which is 7. So when we type this into our calculators, I'm going to do this mentally because I forgot to bring my calculator, but that's going to be 12 and 84, so 96. So this is going to be 96 and then feet squared. That's the surface area of this figure. That's one method we can use. I'm going to show you a different method later on, but for this video, we're just sticking to the formulas. The second figure we're going to look at is the pyramid. So the surface area of a pyramid is a similar formula. We've got the area of the base, capital B. We've got the perimeter of the base, which is just P. But then we've also got this new one, which is L. L is called the slant height. The slant height of a pyramid is that height that goes from the vertex, which is at the top, the pointy end, and it goes all the way diagonally through the center of one of the sides. And it forms a right angle to the side of the base. So this right here, the 25, is in fact our L. So we've already found the L. So we just have to find capital B. In pyramids, the capital B, the base, is typically going to be this shape on the bottom. But you can tell if this is the base because all of the vertices of this base, all the 4 corners, meet at one point. So this line meets up at this point, this line meets up at this point, this one, and that one. They all meet at one point. That's a clue that you've got yourself your pyramid and the base is that square at the bottom. But again, typically the base is going to be on the bottom for pyramids. So I'm looking at myself, at my base, and I've got myself a square that has 14 by 14. So in order to find the area of this base, the capital B, I need to multiply 14 times 14 or 14 squared to get 196. From here, I need to figure out the perimeter of the base. So perimeter is just adding up all 4 sides, all the sides of your figure. So it's the amount of distance that you have to travel when you go around the figure. So I've only gone 14 and 14 so far, but there's 2 more sides to include. And since this is a square, we're going to go another 14 and one more 14. So this is 4 14s. And so that would be 56. Again, no calculator. All right, so we've got the surface area, which is capital B, so 196, plus L, which was the 25, times P, which is 56, and divided by 2. So multiplying that out in my head is going to be a fun one, so I'm just going to do a good old calculator on this one. And I know that I have my calculators here with me, so you all are going to have to use Google as well. So it was 196 plus 25 times 56. Oops. 56 divided by, let's close that up, divided by, nope, not just that one, close, 2. All right, so 896. And not that I don't doubt the powers of Google Calculator, but I'm just going to double check that 25 times 56 divided by 2. When I do that and I add 196, I also get the same answer, and I do. That's just making sure that Google is in fact doing the same order of operations. It's not dividing the entire thing by 2. So what I noticed is some of you are dividing the entire thing by 2, but it's just the second fraction, so you want to be cautious with that. All right, so 196, and our units are meters, and area is always squared. So I'm going to do another video of this showing a different method if you do not like this method, and that should wrap it all up.